was the returnee event, and there were some technical challenges too, which I think we'll cover today.
Yeah, definitely. And that's actually a good place to start. Before we get into the bigger announcements of today's town hall, we should probably take a few minutes to look back at the last 2 months. So we've had the Rabbids event, Marathon Season 2 with teams and the Team Takeover event, the LSD event for legendary holders, and also one operational change that we should actually acknowledge upfront. We had to remove the Android marketplace due to Google Play restrictions. Yon, can you quickly address that before we move on into the next topic?
Of course. So that was not a product choice. In a Euro sense, we had to remove the Android marketplace because of the Google Play compliance. So we understand, we know it will create friction of using the app. But again, Apple users have been experiencing, this like years ago. So we want to acknowledge this in the beginning.
Right. Yeah, it's not the most exciting update, but it's important to address it clearly. So now that's done. And we can move to Rabbids, which definitely brought the chaos back into the ecosystem in a very recognizable way. Gil, can you give us a quick recap of how the event played out?
Yep. So by this time, I think you guys are familiar with who the rabbits are. And now they've returned with their pranks, and the only way to fight back was for the community to outprank them. So we went through everyone's submissions for April Fool's content, like the memes, the fake news, story format, all kinds of chaotic entries to outprank the rabbits, and earn GG boxes as well. So each GG box represents a chance to win 100, one of the 100 Rabbits co-branded sneakers, and also 100K GMT, 1K USDT, and $50 worth of XAUT. For those who don't know, that is a gold stablecoin. And we still have some rabbits, I think, that are within Genesis, within the GG boxes. So that part of the event, it's still live.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that's community engagement, what made the event very fun. The pranks were actually pretty good in terms of quality, and people joining in on the joke was next level. So yeah, it was a great event, and you can still grab some Rabbit Genesis sneakers, as Gil said. There are still a few in DG boxes, so it gives the whole thing a nice continuation as well. Now, moving quickly to the marathon side, season 2 has been progressing, and one of the biggest changes this season was, of course, the introduction of teams. Gil, what has stood out to you so far?
I think it's the teams, the very concept of teams, because like I created my own team. I didn't know what I was getting into. Like, if you recall the first season, you just run and you're done. You spend your energy, right? But now I have my own team. I'm the leader of my team. So now I have to go beyond 5 kilometers a day. I have to like burn all my energy, because like I cannot let my own team down. I cannot be at the 99th place in the leaderboard. Like, uh, or have someone in my team burn more energy than me. So now I'm not just one person running. I'm not just an individual. I now have to pay attention to my team, to the other teams, how I'm doing versus other teams. And I think that's the social dynamic that I really like. And I think you guys know we've already introduced team takeover for round 4. Um, uh, we ranked the teams through the marathon challenge leaderboard, and we rewarded not just the top 3 teams, but also 3 random active teams. So even if you're not at the tippity top, you have a chance to win. So I think I like what I like in season 2 is about the collaboration, the competition, basically, and it's basically just more social.
Yeah, I think that was always the goal. And just to come back on team takeover, we actually had to reward 4 random teams because actually your team, Gil, won. So congrats to you and your teams for winning the random random picks. So that was definitely random. And so just to avoid any complaints or any issues, we decided to award the prize to a 4th team just to avoid any issues with that. So yeah, more social with season 2, more competition and more connection between the players as well. And actually, we'll come back to that team angle a bit later in the town hall when we talk about STEPN 2. So, Jon, can you enlighten us a bit more about what's going to happen for season 3? Will there be one? How about you?
Of course, of course. So we are working on how to improve the marathon challenge. So we've done that once, and we'll do that again. So if you have any recommendation, do feel free to share them to our team through Discord or through Twitter or to our ambassador team.
Correct. Thank you, Jan. Let's briefly move to the LSD event because that was another good one within the last 2 months, especially for legendary holders. For people who may have missed it, this was the legendary Schadenfreude Day. Gil, can you explain what that was about?
Yeah. So there was over time there was feedback from the community that some legendary sneakers had, like, objectively they had unlegendary stats. They were quite unlucky, and the idea is to counter the bad luck with a black cat who's wearing a red bandana. I think you guys know who it is. But more importantly, the fun in this event is centered on the stories because I read some of them, explaining why we should give the sneakers more a different gem slot, more stats, and the selected entries were given the opportunity to receive improved stats or slots. But because, like, to balance the event, and because you're still dealing with a black cat, there's a trade-off. So there were some trade-offs, and you have to sacrifice something to get the stuff that you wanted. But overall, I think I like how we gave hope to legendary owners that that's not it. You can still improve your sneaker. The hope that they needed to improve their sneakers and still keep the event fun and playful. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's something to keep in mind as well is that not only we did it once, but if there is enough demand for it, we might do it more often in the future as well. And what is also good with this event is that it touched something real because people get attached to their sneakers, and giving them a chance to like tell the story about the sneaker and what make them wanted to have improved made a lot of sense. So yeah, with that look back covered, we can move into the actual first main topic for today. This one is a product update that also needs an important clarification. So let's quickly start with that clarification because there are some expectations on the STEPN GO side that Charm would eventually connect to avatar PCs or characters. And to be fair, the expectation makes sense because that's the direction of how charm is described in the STEPN GO white paper. But after exploring that path of avatars further, we decided to not go into that direction and to create a different feature from scratch, which is called challenge capsules. So here's your first alpha for this town hall. Jon, can you explain a bit more about challenge capsules, what it is, and how will people be able to use it in the future?
Of course, but before that, I want to comment on the LSC event. I think we definitely need to do more of that. It will such a waste of the name if we don't.
True,
All
true,
right.
true.
So back on the topic. So yes, so we actually did several iterations before landed on the challenge capsule idea. We tried to make the charm work, and also we certainly understand why people expect that the charm connection to the avatar, because it was the part of the early thinking and how charm is described in the white paper. But after we down the prototype, we don't think that is up to our standard. And yeah, the main reason is simple because it wasn't as fun. So, and also it's technically difficult in several ways. So instead of forcing a system that we don't feel comfortable or strong, we decided to take the charm into a different direction. So that's where the challenge capsule idea came in. So we went with the challenge capsule mode because it add another layer of gamification to the app. Well, we stay much closer to what STEPN Go do the best, which is to gamify the finish. So yeah, so that's almost like the whole roundabout of our concept design, then push it to the product update.
Yes, thank you, Yuan, for clarifying that. And like I was saying, it's important because like even if some people expecting a different direction, it's better to explain the actual path clearly now rather than let assumptions keep growing in the future. So can you walk everyone through what challenge capsules actually is and how it's going to work in app?
Of course. So I'll explain here, and also people can check the white paper on STEPN Go to read more about how things work. So Challenge Capsule is a game mode built around movement, task completion, reward opportunities, and discovery. So the core idea or loop is very simple. So you open a capsule, review the challenge, you complete the challenge, then you earn a ticket. So once you got the ticket, you can join the draw for a prize. So user can find the challenge capsule function on the FSL ID website, choosing a capsule, enter it by paying an entry fee. Each capsule has its own condition or challenge and a reward pool. So after that, the user need to complete the required movement challenge within the given time limit through STEPN or STEPN Go. And I think it's important to emphasize that the challenge capsule are going to be compatible with both STEPN Go, as this is built on the FSID. So you can use both apps doing the same time. So if the challenge is completed and verified successfully, you get a ticket, and that ticket become your entry into the challenge reward. So you just need to complete the challenge, and then you can earn the chance at winning the raffle prize. And for STEPN Go, charm now have a very clear place in the system because walking running with charm will help you to earn more ticket and improve your chances of winning. And instead of using the charm for the avatar system, so we are using it in the challenge-based capsule system. And that's more directly connected to the movement and gamification. And for the STEPN, we are using the resilience as the basic attribute of entering into this challenge capsule system.
Yeah, correct. That was actually my my next question. So you
Yes.
mentioned both STEPN and STEPN Go. So like you said, resilience can be used for STEPN. Any other details you'd like to add on that, or?
I think it's just giving Resilient more utility because we've always been receiving this feedback that we need, people need more, utility for resilience. So we're adding a few now. I think this will be one of the biggest, I think, improvement on resilience. So STEPN player will be able to complete the challenge capsule through the STEPN app, right? And then you have a chance to obtain a new type of mystery box containing the challenge capsule ticket by using the resilience. And then this ticket can use giving you more chance of winning the raffle. So on both apps, the idea is very simple, right? So you complete the challenge, then you can improve your odds through mechanisms designed for both STEPN and STEPN Go.
Right. So to summarize it in a simple way, it's absolutely not about avatars collecting avatar parts at all, but it's challenges that can be completed using any sneaker or attributes on both STEPN or STEPN Go. And if you want some extra chances to win the rewards from the capsule, then you can use Charm or Resilience on STEPN or STEPN Go, or STEPN Go or STEPN, to get more draw tickets and more chances to win ultimately. If any thing that we just said is not completely clear, the white paper will be updated very soon, and we will have a post live within the next hours to explain the feature. So you'll have written traces of what we are saying here. Gil, what would you say is the bigger idea behind this direction?
Yeah. I wanted to expand on what Yon said because, like, I saw the avatar system during its development. Like, it's cute. It was really cute, and I wanted to kind of play around with it. But I also realized that at some point you can only dress up an avatar for so long, and then you kind of drop away from it, and then you gotta like look at other things. It's really just going to be a novelty for a while. So we didn't it was better to objectively stick with what we're good at, which is the core experience, which is gamified fitness. You walk and you turn the walk into a game. So challenge capsules, I felt personally was a better path because you're given more reasons to move. You have more challenges to complete, and there's a reward structure behind moving. So you can potentially get more prizes for doing the same thing. So it also gives us like as a side effect or bonus, it gives us more paths for future campaigns and events. So overall, yeah, I think it's a better fit for our current products versus the avatar.
Gotcha. Thank you, Gil. And Jon, coming back to you, can you give us an idea of where does the feature stand right now in terms of launch timing?
Yes, just going back on your question about the white paper, it's already been updated, so people can check it out. And for the
Perfect.
timeline, currently we are going live only with a limited access for beta tester, which will be happening in the next couple of weeks. Then we'll share more details on our social regarding to the beta registration phase. And also you will hear the alpha over the Twitter as well.
Perfect. So yeah, to clarify, everything will be posted relatively soon, whether it's about the mechanics of the new feature, whether it's about the beta testing. So just stay tuned to our Twitter/X account. And the challenge capsule is the direction we're taking. Gives Charm a meaningful role, more utility to resilience in STEPN, and it adds a new gamified layer to both apps. So staying on the topic of challenge-based movements, we can move into the last major announcement for today. And I already mentioned it earlier in the town hall if you catch it, but this one is also exclusive, also hasn't been announced. So an exclusive for the town hall listeners. We can talk about STEPN 2. This one is not live yet. So Gil, can you walk us through the alpha for STEPN 2?
Yeah, sure. So for Stepenathon too, from June 22 to June 29, like the first season, you if you have a season pass, you can complete either the 21 kilometers or the 42 kilometers, but it has to be in one session. And you can use either STEPN or STEPN Go. And if you do so successfully, again, just like the first edition, you will automatically be entered into the Genesis sneaker raffle. So you can get either for a chance to win one Genesis for STEPN or one Genesis for STEPN Go. So yeah.
Right, so it brings back the long distance single session challenge, very similar to the first edition. What about the event rewards themselves? You mentioned the Genesis.
Yeah. So aside from the Genesis, it's again like the first season, right? So if you complete, depending on whether you did the 21 kilometers or the 42 kilometers successfully, so in STEPN, you can get exclusive badges, the backgrounds, and GG boxes. In STEPN Go, you can get exclusive backgrounds and again GG boxes. And take note, it's also the same with the previous Stepenathon, where if you complete 42 kilometers, then you automatically get all the prizes from the 21-kilometer tier because that's the shorter one. So yeah.
Very clear. And so that's what doesn't really change from the last edition, but this time we have teams in the marathon challenge. So will there be also a team angle this time?
Yep. Of course. We added a team challenge for the Stepenathon. So this time, the marathon team with the highest total energy spent during the event week will receive additional exclusive rewards, including a unique badge for that team, a special background for that team, and 5 GG boxes plus one key for each member of that team. So that's a separate set for team, separate set for individual players. So yeah, this time Stepnathon is not only about individual performance but also team performance.
That's great. And because it keeps the spirit of the original challenge, uh, that's one of the reasons that it's going to be a solid one. And this time there's also more dynamics linked to what season two introduced. So that's pretty cool. Yon, what do you like about this format? Any comments?
I think it's challenging, but it's simple. I think that's why it works. So either do the distance or do not, right? So now I think it's an extra team layer on top of it. I think which will make the whole thing more social, right? People can do more interactions. Personally, I think is a better product.
Exactly. And yeah, you've trained all season. Now it's time to prove it. So again, from June 22nd to June 29, one session, 21 or 42 kilometers, you need the season pass, and Genesis raffles will be on the line with extra rewards for the strongest teams. That's STEPN Atom 2. All right. And we are actually coming into the community question section of this town hall. Gil, I will let you take over and ask the tough questions to Yon, and hopefully everything will
Oh
go
no.
as planned. Good luck, Yon.
Okay. So I'll start with this has come up quite often. So I'm gonna start with again. This is the marathon. Why does the internal team marathon leaderboard show email addresses instead of usernames?
Yes, we noticed the bug, so which will be fixed during the next marathon season.
Okay. Pretty simple. Guys, we're aware this is a bug. It's ugly to look at. We're gonna fix it, but it's just gonna be next season. Next question. This one is from PolyGST. Can you consider GST or GGT halving like what you did with GMT halving?
Uh, I think this is actually a very interesting angle, but there's no plan for having the GST production or vesting, because if we have it, it's really just another nerf on the gem system. So I think we rather to leave the GST earning as is of the current format.
Okay, got it. Next one is from CEBT. When when will the Trailblazer airdrop this year?
Okay, so I think that's our okay. I won't say too much. So we will let people know right before the event. If there is an event, will let people know right before that.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Next question is from 1CO22. Are there any plans to introduce commercials on Step and Go to attract external funding?
I think this is almost I can remember this is not the first time I heard this idea. This was very prominent before during the clicker games. But we did study this model actually several years ago. But the ad income is just not enough to add as a form of external funding. Plus, it will actually annoy people. So we never really planned to go down that pathway.
Got it. I agree with the annoying part.
Yeah.
So yeah. The next one's staking. Can you update the fusion feature?
I think the future feature actually working as intended now. I think our new take on the future will be the LSD event. I think it will be appropriate to run maybe even yearly on that. Uh, so, but again, if you have better idea on how we can improve fusion, they can always contact us and send their recommendation, and then we will certainly do some internal discussion on this.
Got it. And the last one. So there's a sorry, I cannot read the sender's name because it's in katakana hiragana. The popular game Dragon Quest is buzzing with tons of collaboration projects. If STEPN did a collab too, it would be insanely hot.
I I
What do you
I
think?
I know Dragon Quest when I was in the primary school. This is like what over like what 30 years ago. This still going. It's very strong. So certainly that we will try to reach them and see if they can, be in contact with us.
Okay, got it. Thank you, Jon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Was it your last question or anything else? We can move to the outro.
Yeah, if you can, please consider Gilgamesh, but that's it.
All right. That's everything we wanted to cover for today. Hopefully you liked this town hall. You liked the direction we took with charm attribute and challenge capsules, what it means for STEPN Go. We also shared the first look at STEPN 2. So again, we covered quite a lot today. I want to thank everyone who joined us, listened in, and kept supporting what we are building. Of course, thank you, Gil. Thank you, Jon, for joining today. Any final words before we wrap up?
Yep, for me, thanks everyone for being here, and thank you to my team. You're lucky. You're my lucky charm. Let's keep winning. And please keep sharing your feedback regarding your fusion suggestions, etc. And yeah, visit Discord. That's where I live.
Thanks, Gil. Jon, any last words?
Thank you everybody, and I probably will try. I got the 21 kilometers badge, so I'm probably gonna try the 42 kilometers very soon. So yeah, I'll see if I can get
said
it
it
next
live.
time I'm doing the town hall. Yeah, I'll try to get it next time. Yeah.
All right, I'll make sure to touch base on that in the next town hall live in front of everybody. Thank you.
I'll make a
Thank
tweet
you.
if I can. Yeah.
All right. So, thank you, Jon. Thank you, Gil. Thanks, everyone, and keep an eye on the announcements. Get ready for what's next. We'll talk again very soon. Take care and see you in the next town hall.
So guys.